Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
Nah, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Hey! Hey, folks, here we are. Good to be here, good to be back, good to be gay. What's shaking, fat man?
Not too much. I feel like I just saw you. We did the bonus a couple days ago. That was a fun, hot bonus. Get on the Patreon. By the way, we hit the 35 hundo.
Oh.
We got a 69 on camera.
That's right.
What was it
I'm
we have to
down.
do?
That was my idea, and I'm into it. I'm up for it.
Yeah. Shelby keeps saying no to us fucking each other on a live stream, but I don't know. I think it's a little homophobic. I think we should fuck hard in the ass, come in each other's hair.
Yes, that's right. Give me something about Mary, and Shelby doesn't know what's what. I think that's what the people are into.
Oh, they love it. So what are we going to do? We're going to do a live, not gotta, we get to do a live streaming show
Yes.
for the patrons.
Yes.
And you don't have to be a patron as of today. You can get on there before then. So if you want a live show, the chat room, and the whole thing, it's going to be really something. Or it'll be a great big nightmare and we'll just ruin it and not know how to do it. And that'll be fun too.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you can't lose. Even if it's a nightmare, it'll be a shit show. It'll be a train wreck where you have to pull over and go, hey, look at that. It's horrifying, but I can't turn away.
Do you pull over on a train wreck? Oh, the cars pull over, you're saying.
Yeah. You know, if the train is next to the highway, you can pull over, take a
Sure.
peek.
I love that that train crash in The Fugitive, which they actually made. It was real. They shot that.
Oh, really?
And I always thought when I watched that movie, I know about the train crash is real in the truck. And so I think that they really put some extended screen time on there.
Yeah.
Like they show a helicopter, they show it 4 different ways. They stay there. And I think it was like, hey, we did all this work. Let's just really, really show it.
Let's enjoy it. Yeah, let's soak it in. I told you about the famous streetcar epidemic of Benjamin Button.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I love
boy.
Benjamin Button.
Do you really? Nobody likes that movie.
I'm a Benjamin Button guy. Well, I'm a sucker for. I'm a softie. Anything with like a piano and a filter and a guy crying. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense in the movie to me.
Sure.
It's flawed. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
no, Gleaming the Cube, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, Gleaming the Cube. It's a skateboard classic. But so I was fancied myself a movie queef back in the those days, and I went to film school and blew my aunt. But Benjamin Buttons was coming to town. It was back when remember other cities were dabbling in the movie, like Atlanta, New Orleans, and Toronto. It was like, hey, Hollywood's gone jizzy. Let's go out west and see what's or out north or east and south and see what's out there and maybe cut some deals on a tax exempt with the movie biz. So New Orleans was flooded with movies, and Benjamin Button shot a big chunk there, and I got to be a PA, production assistant, and I had to, did you ever do that?
No, never did it. But I've walked by people with headsets that said, "Hey, you can't walk through here." So I know a little bit about it.
That was me. I was that douche. Everybody hated me. We all get over the walkie. It says, "Lock 'em up." And then you have to go, up, sorry, sir. And the guy goes, I've lived here for 40 years, you cum guzzling douche. And I'm like, I know, but we're shooting. Brad Pitt's in there. And he's like, oh. But we were shooting, and it was right after Katrina. So the city needed money. The city was in hock. And the streetcars weren't running because it was all electrical and all out of whack. And they put together a streetcar the first time in months. It was a big deal. They paid all this money, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, getting the streetcar, and they're like, it was like classic. Out of a movie, they go, we've got one take with this thing. This is our whole budget on this streetcar going from this block to this block. We got one take. And everybody's like, oh my God, the streetcar's running again. Movie magic. Hollywood's in town. Streetcar goes down. I can see David Fincher in the director's chair with a clipboard and a headset. And the AD does all the work, and he goes, Action! Streetcar goes, the whole crew's going, oh, jeez, we're all high-fiving each other. Streetcar goes down, Brad Pitt jumps on, the little weird midget troll mutant thing, whatever the little guy is. He jumps off, they high-five. They got it, they nailed it, they go, woo! Champagne pops, that's a wrap. One guy goes, shit. There wasn't any film in the camera. Fincher takes his hat off. He throws it on the ground. He steps on it. He goes, you'll never work in this town again. He threw his coffee in his face, and they shipped the guy back to Hollywood.
Oh, my God. So did they is the scene not in the movie, or would they have to go over budget, or what happened? And
they went over budget. They had to get an extension on the shoot. Shot 3 weeks later. I never saw anything of it because I had moved on by then, but I was fired by that point. But yeah, they redid it, but it took a whole nother, they had to mortgage a house and all this.
Well, it's a hell of a picture. And I mean, my God, it's fun to get the "you'll never work in this town again." And I picture myself being that guy and being like, you mean Hollywood or New Orleans? And then he's like, get out of here. You're like, okay. And then he skirts away, because he had one last
saw the whole thing,
comment.
I'm 22 years old, like, oh my God, this is crazy, because I'm always the fuck up, so I get to see another guy fuck up, and the idea of not putting film on a camera is so funny, it's so old-fashioned. Great times.
Wow. I love, I watched a thing about Batman, Dark Knight, the second
Nolan.
fucking fourth Batman. Yeah, the whatever Batman, the Nolan, Heath Ledger Batman. They flipped the truck, the 18-wheeler.
Yes.
And there was an Instagram thing. I'll find it and, I don't know, tweet it or something. They did a whole Instagram, mini film about that because they really flipped the truck. Again, it's no CGI. And they had, a big dick in the middle of the truck that just went, and shot out like a fucking, like that cattle prod thing. Or not the cattle prod, but the thing that from No Country where it shoots out.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, so...
Is that a prod? What is a prod?
That's how you kill the cattle. I know a prodcast. It shoots into the brain and comes back before the thing knows what hit him or whatever.
But I think a cattle prod is electric.
Yeah, that's the prod.
That's the prod. This is a.
I think it's a
stun gun, bolt cutter.
It's something bolty.
Yeah,
Michael Bolton.
Bolt bus, bang bus. I don't know. Either way, I know what you're talking about. It shoots it in the brain and ends it quick.
Yeah, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. But that's what they had. And so the truck is moving. They had 9 cameras on it. They ended up using 2 shots. It's fascinating, though. They got Nolan out there and the whole thing. And these big filmmakers are so fascinating. The idea of shooting a $300 million movie and you're in charge of the whole thing, and you have a water tank coming and the whole thing. It's wild to think, but they pulled it off. The truck looks awesome, and then they just take out the pipe thing to make it look real. It's a hell of a stunt. Fun film.
Movie magic. They go all out. They do all this shit you would never do in real life, and just for one scene, it's kind of cool how important movies are to people. Where like, I know we're going to blow up half a city block here, but it's for a movie. And you go, oh, okay, it's for a movie.
Yeah, I always like how much goes into entertaining people. I mean, even way back 7,000 years ago that they build the theater and the auditorium, and they're like, well, people got to enjoy themselves. You can't, as Seinfeld said on Comedian Cards, like, you can't just stare at a wall. That's no kind of life.
It's true. Yeah, I remember they, in an article 38 years ago, they said, Larry David, you got $8 zillion, you got the best sitcom of all time, you're on your 5th season of Curb, why would you do another one? He goes, you got to get out of the house. And I remember being like, oh, that's a great answer.
Yeah, I always think that too with athletes, where they'll say, you've won 3 MVPs, you've won 4 championships, what do you have to prove? And I always just think on behalf of the athlete, you're like, I like playing.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Like, I mean, you think about that with comedy. I mean, obviously we need money still. I'm not exactly retired here, but
sure.
The idea of like, you've done a bunch of late nights, you have a special, the whole thing, you're like, I like telling jokes.
Yeah.
Just the way I did before. I mean, that's why LeBron was playing hoops when he was in fucking 2nd grade or whatever.
Exactly. I never got that. And people always, I don't know if you get it, but we both do a bunch of late nights, and everybody's like, why do you do that? Nobody sees them. And it's so much pressure, it's so much work, it's so much prep. That's fun. You put a suit on, you go to 30 Rock, you tap dance it up, you high five some people, and you get a drink.
Yeah, I can't stand. We talked about it a long time ago. I think it was Rogan. Somebody was on Rogan.
Yeah.
Who was that? I remember
Oh,
sending it
yeah.
to you and be like, "Fuck these guys."
Oh yeah.
Who was
that?
it? It was like Russell Peters or Louis or
No.
Chappelle. Maybe it was Chappelle.
I don't think he did it. I think he just did it for the first time. Who was that? Rock? No.
I remember sending it and being like, "Fuck these guys, they're
Yes.
idiots." They said,
Oh,
it's-
I know. It was Carmichael.
Yes, that's right. I think we talked about it on the show. It was Carmichael. Yeah, because I was just realizing it was somebody newer. They're like, it's a waste of time.
Yes.
They make you be somebody else. They cut your act, the whole thing. And you're like, first of all, I don't have a sitcom and a deal.
Exactly.
And second of all, it's fun. I like it. I think maybe my dad will love me if he sees it. You know, it's fun to go shopping. It's classic. And as Leno said so well, you're the only thing on the network for that 5 minutes. That's amazing.
That's true. That's
Think
gold.
about NBC. I mean, before, if you turned on NBC in September of '95, you're watching the K-Man come through and make
Right.
TV magic. And now, for this 5 minutes, it's all little Dick List out there going, oh, I'm nervous, or whatever. I mean, it's amazing.
Amazing. It's incredible. And not to push the point even further and be a douche, but that second Tonight Show I did, Seinfeld saw it and goes, who's this guy? So how do you like that?
Wow.
If I'd never done it, he would have never seen me, unless it was on like To Catch a Predator or something.
That alone, you're like, someone might see me in a suit watching the thing.
Exactly. And look, we do this all day where we go, hey, Andrew Schultz's podcast gets more views than Colbert or whatever, but maybe it does. But if you tell people I was on the Tonight Show, it still has a little twinkle in your asshole, and you turn your head and cough, and you go, oh, how about that guy's been on the Tonight Show? Even though nobody watches it, nobody gives a fuck, it still has a little bit of weight.
That, and also, how about this? So this show is done very well. We've been on the air on whatever the fuck it's called, the airwaves, the computer, whatever
Yeah.
bullshit in
Yeah.
your phone for 9 years here. We've done 5,000 episodes, and it's nice. And there's 80,000 people listening, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I have no pants on. I just shaved my pubes 8 minutes. I'm talking to you on a screen. I'm sitting on the couch on a Sunday. This doesn't feel like anything.
Right.
I'm grateful for the fans, and we're giving it our all, and whatever the fuck. I love you, and I hope you're you live till 100 and your tits grow, or whatever the fuck.
Sure.
But this doesn't feel like a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas the Tonight Show, I'm at Bloomingdale's. I got a guy measuring my leg for some reason, and I fly to L.A. or whatever, and,
Right.
and you're nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm just sitting here chatting with you.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a beauty to both worlds. Why can't we do both? Why can't we dabble in here and dabble in there? We're by dabbles.
I love dabbling. And speaking of dabbling, that's my ad transition.
Oh, yes.
I figured we'll do one here because I want to talk about Feels.
Woo!
CBD, a little dabble, do you, of Feels CBD. Do you experience stress or anxiety? If you've done a late night, you have.
You got
Or
that
if you're
right.
human. By the way, it's very human to have anxiety. We all have it at some point. Maybe you have chronic pain. By the way, I'm 38. I got pains shooting out my ass all the time.
No pain, no
Or maybe
gain.
maybe you have trouble sleeping at least once a week. I have trouble sleeping every night. I think you do too.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we got news for you. You're not alone. Every one of us do. We love CBD. You're a big CBD guy. I used it for like 2 weeks. They sent us a sample. Feels did, and I was putting it in my chamomile tea. Sarah was sticking it right up her twat, and I've never slept better. I mean, I felt less stress. It was great. It's a great product. You don't feel groggy the next day or anything like that. Your eyes feel a little bit heavier. It doesn't screw you up or anything. I'm still sober, everybody. It's just a delightful product, and they'll deliver it right to your doorstep. Feels naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. That's what it helped me with. And it's easy to take. Few drops under the tongue. I put it in my tea, whatever. I know you love this stuff. Tell them a little more.
Big fan of the Feels. I can't sleep. I have to do the CBD every night. I'm on a nightly now because if I don't take it, I wake up at 5 a.m. with a Vietnam flashback and I want to kill myself. So you got to do it. You got to get on the membership. That's what I do. Join the Feels community to get Feels delivered to your door every month. You'll save money on every order. Feels has me feeling my best every day, and it can help you too. Become a member today by going to feels.com/Tuesdays, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. Wow. That's FEALS.com/Tuesdays to become a member and get your 50% automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. One more time, feals.com/Tuesdays, and feel better.
But just real quick to wrap up what we were talking about there.
Yeah.
Even doing the specials, we did our specials on our own, and it felt rock and roll, and we just shot it on our own and did it. But even that, you still kind of miss the truck and the suits and the steam. That they shoot the smoke or the steam, whatever the fuck it is.
Good point.
And there's an audience person. Samantha's seating everybody and yelling at everyone, and there's fun to have the truck with the big wires going into the venue, and not having that, it does feel rock and roll and do it yourself and all that shit, which was amazing, and I'm grateful. By the way, check it out. I Hate Myself on YouTube.
Yeah.
But still, it doesn't quite have that feeling of like when you get the email with the date and like, here's the deal, here's the numbers, all that stuff. It does take away. I like shooting a special with a network.
That's true. I mean, I hate to jizz on our own brigade, but there's something fun about industry. Industry is the ultimate compliment because you go do your shoot and there's 8 guys in cargo shorts with bad facial hair and a bandana, lugging in wires and moving scaffolding, and you go, those guys have a job because I'm telling jokes. Isn't that weird? And that's a huge compliment that all this infrastructure is because of me and my yucks. So that's why the Tonight Show feels so good, and that's why we get so bitter when these cum-guzzling dweebs won't book us on, Hulu or whatever the hell, because the Tonight Show feels good because you were chosen, and they trust you to tell quality enough shit that they can put it on their channel. That's kind of nice.
It's pretty amazing. We were just talking about Sarah and I right before some of these bookers and industry type people. Some of them suck, some of them are great. But I was just talking about that with JP, who books Conan. Rest in peace, Conan, by the way. So weird.
I know.
We could talk about that another day. But JP, I remember who was the booker of that show. He'd just be like, I'd be like, I want to add this joke. He's like, yeah, whatever you think. It's your set. I don't know. To earn that trust early on, you don't have that. But when they go, yeah, put together a set and shoot it up my ass and see if I come, and they usually come and let you, fuck them in the ass. That really kind of fell off there, that analogy. But
well, it's funny when we get to the point where fucking someone in the ass is falling off. Like, oh boy, we really got bland at the end there, just the anal. But yeah, that feels good. It's almost like a specials like the Olympics, and we're setting a record on our own with our YouTube or whatever it is. But it's got to be nice to be part of the Olympics. It's the fucking the torch and the special needs and the Asians, the whole thing.
Yeah, the Olympics are fun. They got the big flame they carry around, and Ali shakes and all that stuff, and
Yeah, you don't want him with a match. That'll light a flag on fire. Next thing you know, Beijing's a fucking ashtray.
I feel bad though. By the way, that the '96 Olympics with Ali, the whole time I was like, get him out of here. It's fucking me up. I feel terrible for the guy. He's just up there like,
I know.
I'm like.
What's next? You gonna give Michael J. Fox a fucking chainsaw? This is risky.
I'm like, I'm not inspired. I feel terrible. I'm glad he's enjoying himself, but he just looks like a kook out there. Yeah. And everyone's like, this is the greatest moment in history. And I'm like, all right, put him away and send out, I don't know, who's another Olympian?
Lou Gaines?
Spike Owens?
Lou Gaines, he had the HIV, I believe.
Oh, yeah, he hit his head. Mario Lopez played him in there, a made-for-TV movie that I can't imagine was good.
Big gay, big diver, big AIDS.
By the way, Spike Owens was the shortstop on the '86 Red Sox.
Spike Owens, where'd you get that out? Was he an Olympian?
Maybe. I don't think so. He was traded from the Mariners early in the '86 season. This is for 8 people that are like at home shitting them. He's like, he's talking about Spike Owens. This is crazy. I'll get 3 tweets, the people that came.
By the way, who's got the best names in the world, by the way, group-wise? Jazz musicians, it's like Bleeding Gums Asshole and, Bloody Cadaver Johnson. Then you got blues singers. Then you got baseball players. You know, it's like Buzzy Jizz and Queef Queen Mulaney or whatever. And then you got who's another golfers too. Golfers have great names. It's like, you know, Dickless Bill and Shoeless Anal and all this shit.
I think you're thinking of cowboys. Dickless Bill sounds like an Old West character.
Well, there's Billy the Fag, or well, there's one of those. I can't think of Buffalo Bill. Shit. I can't Jerk Off Don. I don't know, but I feel like golfers, blues, and baseball have the best names.
I was listening to a jazz. I'm over here. I don't want to be a big queef over here. Oh, God, Shelby's texting. Oh, Catfish Hunter. That's a fun baseball player with the mustache.
There you go. All right, Shelby.
Nice. I had no idea Shelby's even heard of baseball, but
or us.
Good pull. Good pull,
Yeah.
Shelby. I can't believe he's listening.
I know. Shocker.
Wait, what was I just going to say? Oh, last night, I'm going to sound like such a douche, but I had the night off last night. Sarah was out, you know, fucking somebody. I don't know what she does, but I'm here watching TV, and you know that feeling where you're like, I've just watched too much TV. I'm clicking.
Yes.
And so I killed the TV, and I'm reading On the Road, the Kerouac book that I always pretended to have read, and they're talking about jazz musicians. So I put on some jazz, and he mentions this guy by name. You ever hear this cunt, George Sebring?
I have her a Sebring. Good car.
Shearing, George Shearing.
I know Harry Shearer.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Handsome Dan.
Well, anyways, this guy, George Shearer, I threw him on. He's a piano player, and he's booping.
Wait a minute. Not Ed Sheeran.
No. He's a new guy. I saw him at a club. Remember that story? That was in Dublin. Invite only. It was me and a bunch of teenagers.
Oh, that's right. He's a pasty, chunky ginger.
Yeah, he's like Nate McIntosh. He looks a little bit like Nate McIntosh, I think.
Yeah, maybe Nate was hungover and floating in a river for a week.
Yeah, it's not good, Sheeran.
No.
Don't get me wrong. You know, Nate's not exactly a sex symbol himself, but
that's true as well. He's kind of a muppet.
he's better looking than Sheeran. By the way,
Way better.
Nate McIntosh had a bit that Burr did on his monologue.
That's right.
Way before it. It's a great bit, and I felt for him because no one's gonna go, hey, Burr. Obviously, neither one of them took it.
I know, and they're both pale redheads who do comedy, so they're gonna give it to Burr. But Nate's a funny guy.
Great comic, and yeah, he was doing that bit before. But also, I don't watch all Burr's sets. He might have been doing it at the Funny Bone and whatever. But
True.
My point is, I feel for McIntosh. Great bit.
Yeah.
But
Good
so
comic.
last night, I'm sitting here. I got my feet up. I'm listening to some jazz. I'm reading On the Road. I felt like a real douche. I wanted a pipe, and Sarah came home, and she's like, "What are you doing with your life?" I had a candle going. It was quite delightful.
All right. Well, don't you feel like, I don't know what it is. I'm watching TV and I have the same thing. I'm like, I got to do something with my life. You're such a lazy douche. But I start reading and I'm like, well, this is pointless too.
I have exactly that. That's my whole life, is questioning every decision. I'm like, I'm watching Goodfellas again.
Right.
And then I'm like, I should watch something new. And I start watching that. I'm like, this movie sucks. And I'm like, I'll read. And then I'm reading. I'm like, well, I should have just been watching Goodfellas. I should just, why not? I was enjoying watching the thing. But do you have this? I always picture this. Maybe we already talked about this. Fuck me hard. I picture a whole stadium of people watching me in my living room going, what an idiot. Look at him.
Same thing. I have the same thing.
I just picture every person I've ever met in my life being like, Goodfellas again. What
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
I mean, I've said this before. I'll queef it again. Every time I'm in a dressing room at Macy's, I'm putting some leather pants on and high heels, and all my friends from high school go, "You think you can pull that off? You cum guzzling chooch? What are you, crazy? You dumb fat queer? You can't pull that off? Where'd you get that leather jacket? Nice zippers." That's why I got to wear a leather jacket on a podcast with you, just so I can get it over with.
By the way, I've never. We've talked about this too. I'm sorry, everybody. I hate myself, but I've never changed style. You pull up a photo of me in 1988. I'm wearing a fucking Red Sox T-shirt, a pair of jeans that are too short, and a pair of Reeboks. And I switched to New Balance because they're better for my plantar fasciitis. But other than that, I'm wearing the same pants I wore when I was 9.
You had the same haircut. It might have been a little longer when I met you, but that was the 90s and things were different. There was no internet and God hated fags. But I will say you changed your frames. That's the only thing I've noticed.
Got new frames, and by the way, my career took off. My manager, I remember, was resenting her at the time. She was like, "You need new glasses," and I was like, "What kind of cunt tells a guy he needs new glasses?" These were hand wired and bent in the factory, and they had all the crust on them, the yellow and the snot and the shit. I changed them. 3 days later, I was on Letterman, so I gotta eat her out next time I see her.
She was right. Those frames look like something out of a serial killer's twat. I don't know where you got them. I don't know what you did with them. I hope they're in a ditch in Biloxi. But you know what I've never seen you do? You've had glasses for 48 years. I've never seen you take them off and do this number. You know that move where you clean? I've never seen you clean those once.
Now, let me ask you this. Where do you stand on this? Because one time I was on a plane with a private of the private variety.
Yes.
With a group of comics, and one of them was a female, and she was sitting across from me, and she goes, "Can I do something?" And she took my glasses off and cleaned them.
Ooh.
And I wanted to kick her right in the twat and throw her out of the fucking airplane.
I don't like it.
The other guy I was with was like, "That's sexy. That's hot. That would turn me on if someone did that." And I'm like, to me, it was like, "Hey, I don't like your face. I'm going to change it."
Yeah.
So, but it sounds like you're on my team here.
I don't. Well, first of all, I don't. These are on your mug there. That's a private area, and so just to lift that off is a bit of a reach, and then to clean them and then put them back without asking, I don't care for it. You know, that's like somebody putting their finger in your nose and going, "Hold on, you got a little bug there." I don't care for that, and I think she overstepped, and I think she should be killed.
I feel the same way. It's like if she was wearing a dress and I saw her little panty triangle and said, "Hey, you got a little stain there." I pulled them out, wringed them out, drank them, which is a fantasy of mine, and then put them back on. You know, that would be hot but inappropriate.
Yeah, I agree. I don't care for it. It's I had a friend. He would go up to. This is in high school. He would go up to girls at a bar, and he could undo a bra strap with one hand, and all the girls would like yell at him and throw drinks on him. But he was really good at it. And to me, it's very similar. Like, he didn't ask. She didn't ask. I know she's trying to help you, but I don't know. I don't care for that. And I feel like glasses get a bad rap. People do the whole, like, "Hey, can I try them on? Whoa, you're blind as a douche. Holy hell, what are you, gay?" And that's a little insulting.
I agree, and it's not easy, wearing glasses, but those old glasses were shit, and it's just like we talk about with the cargo shorts. Nobody tells you that wire frames are gay until it's too late when they go, "What are you doing with those glasses, you piece of shit?"
Yep.
Nobody emailed me to say, "Hey, we switched to these fucking things."
I know. I guess you got to go just by sight. Like, I don't see anybody wearing jeans shorts anymore, so I go, all right, I guess those are out.
But in Europe, they're huge. They got tight jean shorts, but then that's how you identify the Europes. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm sticking with the hoodie, the jeans, and the New Balance, and these filthy glasses.
Yeah, Europe's all over the place. I play a game of foreign or gay. I can't tell if that guy's got capri pants or if he's in a gay band, or I don't know what's going on. Same with Southern. You go down to South Carolina, some guy's wearing a seersucker suit with tighty Daisy Dukes on and a penciled in mustache, and I'm like, is he the mayor or is he a homosexual? I don't know.
I agree. I mean, Lindsey Graham, if that guy's not gay, then I'm African American. I don't know what's going on with that fella. Well, that's the gayest man I've ever seen. His name's Lindsey.
Yeah, they're sucking on a mint julep with a tiny straw, and their names are Lindsay, Shelley, Sandy, Ashley. These are men's names in the South.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, there you go, Sambo. Well, I gotta get this off my panties here, if I don't mind. So you talk about sitting and watching TV and hating yourself. So I was sitting at home, and I'm leaving for New Orleans on Wednesday. It's Tuesday night. The lady went down to Beantown. So I had the place to myself, and I'm just like, oh, I got the place to myself. I'll watch some TV, and it's 5. Got a show at 8 with you, or a show maybe you'll pop in at Canner's at the 13th step. Beautiful night in New York. It's a chilly 60 degrees, and I go, all right, I got 3 hours to kill before my show, and I was watching TV, and I was fat, and I had a beer in my hand, and I go, what am I doing? And I put on, I like a little self-help Jew every now and then, so I'll throw on a self-help. And one guy was like, "What are you doing?" It was like the movies where the TV's talking to you. He's like, "What are you doing, you loser? You're sitting down. You should be out living. Go live your life. What are all these people sitting at home?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, he's right." So I said, "Well, you know what? I own a car. I'm going to go down to the garage, get my car out, my 1973 Beamer, and drive it around the city for 3 full hours, and then go to my show in it."
Hell
And
yeah.
I just went to the garage and I said, "I'll take the Beamer, please." And the guy goes, "Oh, Old Smokey, huh?" He was this old black guy. And I go, "Yeah, it's Smokey. Shut up. I hate you." And he's like, "No, I love that car." He's like, "I would take that car over any car in here." And this is the Village, and it's nothing but Jags and Benzes and Maseratis and whatnot. So he pulls it out. It's smoking. It's barely running. You know. And we pulled out. I pulled out. And I had to learn stick all over again. And I drove it all over town with the windows down. Had the best night of my life.
Wow, it sounds fun. You're Costanza. You're Costanza and Little Baron
Yes.
cruising around. I love it.
I got John Voight's car. I got a pencil in my mouth, and I'm driving around. Now this is where I'm gonna really get a little clammy, and it's gonna make you uncomfortable.
Oh, boy. I'm
been-
always uncomfortable anyways.
I've been day drinking, but that's neither here nor there. So I pulled up to 13th Step. It's my first show of the night. I got a parking spot right on 2nd Avenue. And, you know, I'm rolling the window up. It takes 20 minutes because it's the old-fashioned one. And, you know, a couple people go by, "Hey, nice car. Whoa, 2002. What is that, a 74? 73? All right." You know, lock the door.
Hey, you're riding a girl's bike.
I walk over to 13th Step, and I see you. And you go, "Hey, you got the car here?" And I go, "I got the car here." And you're like, "What? Let's go see the car." Which I'm not used to that. You know, nobody has done that to me in my whole life. Anything I've gotten into, nobody gave a fuck. My parents, you know when you tell your friends you're doing comedy, they're like, "Why would you do comedy? Does it pay?" You're like, "No, I'm doing an open mic." They're like, "Why? What do you get out of it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm trying it. I don't know." So then you got to move to New York. But so you were into the car. So I couldn't believe you wanted to see it, and I was ecstatic showing it to you, and I couldn't even get words out. You're like, "Well, how does this? Is this the original radio?" I'm like, "It is. It is the original radio." And look at this, and look at that, and I was like, "Let me start it up." I was so excited. I was like a kid with a Red Ryder gun. I couldn't even take that you were interested in it.
I'm very interested. First of all, you just froze, which is a nightmare. Right in the good. Right when the dick was throbbing and the load was about to hit the back of my throat, you froze.
I hit my shoe.
Eric put it out with his big shoe. No, well, it was exciting. Well, the best part was they were like, you had to leave, and then Canner's like, "You're next." And I was like, "Well, I got to go see this car." And then we got to jog down the street like when Harry Met Sally, which was really fun.
Yes, I'll have what
was
she's
a-
having.
It was a little annoying because I came back and I had been bumped by Louie, and I could have just spent more time. I could have gone for a cruise around, but I'm dying to see more. I want to get in that thing, and I'm happy to play that role. But these poor parents, they stink.
They stink. I got more on that later, but yeah, they're the worst. But look, you get used to it. You just go, "It's my car. I like the car. Why would they care about the car? It's not their car." But you think you can fake it a little bit for your pride and joy every now and then. But hey, I get it. But, they don't give a shit. But you cared, and you seemed genuinely interested. You know, some people will feign a little interest. They go, "Oh, that's cool. What is that, blue?" And you go, "Oh, it's red." They go, "Oh, it looked blue to me." And you go, "All right, I'll see you later." But you actually seemed to be interested. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, it was fun. I'm very interested. I can't wait to ride the thing. I mean, I like cars. I'm not a big car guy, but I like history. I like
Yes.
that car came off the plant or out of the plant or whatever the fuck, Robert Plant.
Yes.
And somebody was
Planters
in there.
Peanuts.
It was their hopes and dreams, that whole thing. Someone was sitting in there. The Sting won Best Picture. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just exciting that car's been around for years, and somebody drove it to go see the, Godfather Part 2 and Cuckoo's Nest or whatever it is.
Yes.
And it's around. Plus, it's like, it's just fun. I'm like, let's get in this. Let's cruise around. And I just got a car, and the feeling of having a car is like, I get what Springsteen's been talking about. It is this beacon of hope and love. I get in my car. I got just a whatever Sentra, but the feeling of getting in there and you got your tunes going and you're in this little cocoon.
Yes.
And it can take you anywhere.
Right.
It's so exciting. And that car, particularly, you got that steel bumper on there and the The back seats are a joke. You couldn't even fit anyone in there, and the old seatbelt, the radio. It's very exciting, and it made me want to get a classic car. I'm like, maybe I'll get an old Camino, and we'll race up the West Side Highway and fuck.
Yes, I mean that back seat is a joke. You couldn't get a Veeder in there, a dead hooker, a Brad Williams wouldn't fit back there. But the beauty, it's like you said with the metal bumper. Cars used to be kind of works of art back in the day. Like some guy designed a car in Germany, some guy named Wolf Dickless, and he designed it, and they never worried about safety or regulations or airbags or whatever, crumple zones. It was just, this is a cool-looking machine, and we're going to make it efficient and fast and fun. And now it's like, hey, you got to get a Honda with a baby seat and a fender bender and all this, rear view mirrors and stuff. But back then it was just like this art thing, and it's almost like comedy. You could do what you wanted, and it was just like, this is this cool piece that you like this, you buy it. This is your art thing, and you get to whiz down the street in this. It's almost like buying a piece of furniture that looks cool, And now it's all about, hey, this gets you from A to B, and it's maroon, and it looks like ass. But no offense, but
yeah, you just described my car.
Well, I don't mean maroon. I mean it's just like, here's some tan thing with 4 wheels and an 8-track player, and it'll get you home. But this thing, that's why I like the old cars, because it's got a little zest. It's got some life in it. It's like an old movie. Now a movie's like, oh, here's the Avengers Part 38. We're just trying to sell some tickets here, But this thing is like, here's Mean Streets on wheels.
It's a hell of a ride, and that's the same year Mean Streets came out, and great car, very exciting. I was excited to see it, and I wish I had more time. That was the only regret. I had to jog back, and like I said, I had 15 more minutes than I realized, which was annoying, but that's the way it goes in comedy. But no, it was exciting, and I wanted to get in that thing and go for a spin around the block, and it's all very exciting. And that was a fun night because I'll just get into this real quick, and I know we got to get to some of our other sponsors here, but that was a fun night because I was supposed to be at the Stand. They'd have their outdoor show on the sidewalk, and then the Cellar has been doing, you can have dinner. It's a restaurant, and every once in a while a comic will get up there and tell a couple jokes there.
Sure.
And so I was like, I'm going to go to the Cellar, have dinner, do a set there, and then go across town to the Stand.
Yeah.
So I drove in, my piece of shit maroon bullshit, and just kidding. So I drove in once I parked it, I parked far away because I just take the first spot. I don't mind walking. So I see a spot, I park. And I had a fun exchange, by the way, just real quick.
Ooh.
I'm parking, and there's a red light, so all these cars, everything's one way in New York, and all the cars are backed up. And so I'm trying to park, but there's like a big UPS truck here, so I can't parallel because I'm going to hit the UPS. So I'm waiting for those cars to leave so I can start parallel parking.
Yeah.
And this bicyclist, I'm in the bike lane. I'm blocking the bike lane. And this bicyclist comes up next to me and goes, really? And so I rolled down the window and I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to take this spot. I got to parallel park, but I can't move until this guy moves. And I apologize that I'm blocking the bike lane. And he went, fair enough. And then I rolled the window back up, and it felt good. It felt like one step in the direction that our humanity needs to go.
Yeah, you don't see that anymore. That's rare. I understand, and I'm okay with it.
Well, my instinct is to be like, fuck your mother. You can see I'm parking. It's hard to park. Get off your bike, you fucking loser. Who rides a bike, you piece of shit? And his instinct was to do the really.
Yeah.
And then I just explained the situation, and I'm like, I feel bad. I'm blocking the bike lane. That sucks for you. I'm sure you were cruising. You wish you were going. If you follow the rules properly, you'll be at a red light in 14 feet anyways. But
right.
These cyclists don't stop at red lights.
That's true. And it's also kind of like when people comment something mean on your Twitter, on your YouTube, and you go, geez, man, that really hurt my feelings. And then they write back like, I'm so sorry. I live with my mom. I'm a virgin. I can't get it up. I can't throw a football. I hate myself. And you go, all right, it's cool. I get it.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. We gotta try to take baby steps in the right direction. So that was a nice exchange. Anyways, I parked the car. As I'm walking to the Cellar or the olive tree, I get a text saying, "Hey, Stand is canceled tonight. No reservations. It's a cold night, whatever, chilly night." And I go, "Oh well, whatever." I get to the Cellar, and it reminded me of the old days, the early days of comedy, because it was a bunch of comics. Eric Newman, Louis met me over there, Ryan Reese, Nick Griffin, no women, no minorities, and we're all just there at the table because it's show up and see if there's a show kind of thing. It's not booked anymore. It's not a lineup.
Right.
There's no booker. By the way, when there's no booker, it's all just white dudes that show up.
I didn't want to say it, but yes, love of the game.
It's just 5 straight white guys with nowhere else to be. But so we're sitting there, and there's literally 0 people because we're locking down again. It's a cold night. So we all sat there. We talk comedy. We talk movies. And everyone's going, that movie sucks. That movie's great, whatever. And finally, everyone just go, all right, well, there's no show here. The stand's canceled. And everyone goes, well, I'm going to go to Tiny Cupboard. I'm going to go to the Peach Fuzz. I'm going to go to Your Mother's Twat.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, 13th Step, the show we did I had done it the week before, which I think I talked about last week. I said, hey, they got a show. I said, let's go over there. So we finished eating. Louie and I walked to my car, jumped in the car, drove over to second. I got a spot right behind your car. And that's where I bumped into you. But it reminded me of the early days of comedy where you all show up at the Creek or an open mic or a bar show, and we go, nobody showed up. And everyone goes, I'm going to try this place. Everyone kind of dispersed to a different place to go, we got to get up somewhere.
Yes.
I have the mindset of going on. So we all dispersed, went to the 13th Step. I ate shit, and that was it.
Did you really?
They weren't good. Well, I went after
Did you
Louis.
really die up there?
I went after Louis, and he did well, so that was a thing, and I was fine. I was doing all new, and I kind of self-sabotaged. Louis told me all about how I ruined my own set for a while.
I'd like to hear that another day. But, yeah, that show was all right. That was a great night. I did 3 sets that night with the car, and you're right, it felt like old times, and they were all indoor, and everybody was into it and the full crowds, so I don't know what to believe. You read Twitter, the walls are bleeding, and then you go outside and the birds are chirping.
Well, I'll just say this real quick. Got the call today. One of the guys I was with at the cellar that night has COVID now. And I heard of 2 other people that are in the scene that also have it. So be careful out there because it is starting to take a dump on our chest. So
yeah, it's percolating.
So be careful, be easy. Yeah, and I think the guy that got it, he got it later, and I didn't say his name purposefully here, but somebody over there had it. But I think we're all fine. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
But anyways,
well, take a walk outside alone and put your headphones in because that's all you can do about now if you're trying to avoid the vid. Tuesday's Story is brought to you by Raycon, and I've gone full into Raycon. I always dabbled with them, and I enjoyed them, but I'm listening to Raycon every night. I use them. I go to bed with them. You can put one in. You can put the other one in. You can listen to both or one at a time. They're so much more advanced than the others. I love Raycon. The sound quality is great. You can adjust it just with a button. You can stop it. You can start it. You can fast forward. You can rewind. You can lower the volume or raise the volume. Just with the click on the actual AirPod. They're pretty great. Going to be good as a gift. We got the holidays coming up. I use them every day. Love the earbuds. You got to get them. Bluetooth pairing and a comfortable noise-isolating fit. You can start listening right away and keep listening for hours. The battery on these things is a doozy. That thing goes and goes. The audio quality is great. Comparable to what you might get from other premium brands. Raycon start at half the price, though. Holiday season's coming up. Get these folks something for your folks and your family and your friends, and get something for you. Trust me, you're going to use them every day. I know I do. Tell them what to do there, Fatty.
Go to buyraycon.com/Tuesdays today to get 20% off your Raycon order. But hurry, because this offer is available for a limited time only, and you don't want to miss it. That's buyraycon.com/Tuesdays to get 20% off your Raycons. One more time, buyraycon.com/Tuesdays. And while we have you, Tuesdays with Stories is also brought to you by Manscaped. You guys know about Manscaped. I mean, we've all had a couple of unfortunate incidences trying to clean up our pubic hair, and I'm married, so I go full bush for like months. And she doesn't say anything, but then when I use my Manscaped razor and trimmer to clean it up, you can see the delight on her face. She's like a kid at a birthday party when the donkey shows up.
Sure,
I
pin the
mean-
head on it.
Get yourself some Manscaped. They are the only men's brand dedicated exclusively to below-the-belt grooming and hygiene. Get yourself the Performance Package featuring the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. I mean, I got a lawn and I need it mowed.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm grateful they sent me one of these. It's waterproof and it includes an LED light and is made with advanced skin-safe technology. You love Manscaped, don't you, pal?
Big fan of the Scape. I throw that lawnmower into my bag. I just use it on the road every weekend. I love it. The battery's great. Big fan. It's got a light on that puppy, so you can get up in the nostrils and the ears. And I could use a trim. I might pull mine out tonight. When you order the Performance Package, get 20% off and free shipping when you use the code Tuesdays at Manscaped.com. That's Manscaped.com and use the promo code Tuesdays, plural like your balls, for 20% off your first order. And always use the right tools for the job. Thank you.
Yeah, we want to thank all our sponsors, support the people that support the show. And this is not a sponsor, but it's exciting news. We have a new merch situation. And my God, I mean, Shelby did some research, and he really dug deep in there. And we found a hell of a new merch store. All new merch is up at TeePublic. The link is in the description of this episode. We got 2 classic designs and 4 new ones designed by Tuesday's artist designers. More designs coming in the future, by the way. This is no one-trick pony. And they got mugs, fucking shot glasses maybe, masks, everything, stickers. So go in there and get some. Yeah, magnets. I love them. We have a collection on the fridge.
Magnet School. Yeah, I love them. All shirt designs can be put on anything, and the designs and shipping methods are 100% better than the ones we had before. We were all over the road. We were going through Target and Apple and Amazon and Grindr, you name it. So we got our ducks in a row. Our stuff is all in order. Check it out. And I believe a lot of these are designed by gays themselves. So,
Oh, yeah, all gay design.
made for the people by the gay people, and you're going to love it. And if they don't sell, we'll get rid of it. And if you got a new one, send that in. If that one's hot, we'll throw it on there, and the whole thing is lunch. So get on board, folks.
Yeah, we got some cleaner ones because we got some complaints about people didn't want a rainbow shirt and a queef shirt and a bag of jizz shirts. So we cleaned it up, we tightened it, we used the Manscaped to clean our bushes, and it's a hell of a situation. So get yourself some T-shirts. Good gift to give your aunt or whatever.
Yeah, these gays are creative and artistic. I'm very impressed. I didn't know the gays were so good with a pencil or a paint or a, what do you call it, Photoshop? You name it.
I don't know, but we got the best fans in the biz. I mean, we really do.
Yeah, good eggs, big gays out there. High five to you. You're all a bunch of chooches. And I got to tell you about this interaction I had. You mentioned the weirdo at the bike lane. What about this? I got on a flight last week back home. You know, the planes are empty. It's the best time to travel in a pandemic. I know I'm a super spreader, but hey, you got to pay the bills, keep the lights on. I got 14 apartments, 2 vehicles, and a toupee. But I get on a flight. I got the whole row. I'm sitting on the aisle seat. I'm feeling good. I'm pretending to read my book, Kerouac. This Hasidic Jew lady comes down the aisle, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Huh, is this your seat?" And I look at my ticket. I look up at the doohickey on the overhead. I go, 11F. And she goes, "I was told I had the full row." And I go, "Well, this is my seat." And she goes, "Well, they said I have the full row." And I go, "Well, they lied to you." And she angrily brushed past me, sat in the window seat, and said, "I don't understand why they would tell me I have the full row." And she was giving me attitude. And I'm like, "I don't know what to tell you. Take it up with him." And I was already in a mood. It's 4 a.m. I'm hungover. I'm gay. But we had a miserable flight, a lot of tension. And it just shows like we had the seat in the middle free. That should be enough that you're like content. You know, that should be some gratefulness right there. But she still hated me.
Well, hey, I got to say this. I don't know anybody that has more seat issues with you. I mean, you got a lot of seat problems. You got like a target on your back. I don't know what's going on.
11F.
11 fuckheads trying to take your spot, your seat, your row. I mean, so did she take it up with them or what? I mean, I hate that they told me this.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, you know, my mother told me I could play for the Sox, but it didn't pan out, you fucking cunt.
Exactly. My mother told me I was adopted. I did some 23andMe's. Turns out I'm hers, which hurt even worse. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you. And I get she was venting and she was upset because she wanted the whole row because of COVID or whatever. She had the full yarmulke face mask. Then she had that blowtorch mask, you know, like the welder. Yeah, she had that one with the mask, with the Jew curls, with the dreidel. And, man, she was not having it. But I'm like, yeah, take it up with them. But she was just like, well, you're in front of me, so I'm going to tell you my problems. So I get it. But after the third lap, I was like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, sister. Mazel tov, and I'm hitting the shut-eye.
Maybe she was supposed to be across the aisle in the same row? Is that possible?
No.
That's what they meant by the whole row? No?
We
Okay.
checked the tickets, and I thought maybe I'll just pop over there, but that row had a middle seat dweeb, so I said, I'm not sitting next to Cunnilingus over there. I'm staying here.
Yeah, that's on her, but it's good that you didn't tell her to fuck off or everything, because we got to take the steps, the baby steps, say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't know what they told you, but it sounds like these flight attendants, they're giving out bad info at the front of the plane, which is interesting because at some point they're going to come back to the plane and have to face the person again.
But the beauty of their system on the airlines is they do this whole 9/11 rigmarole thing where they got the desk coups, and then they give you a ticket, and then you get on the plane, and now you got the aisle coups, and they're two different couses. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they go, hey, she told me this. They go, well, that ain't me, fatty. I don't know what to tell you, dickless. And pipe down, we're about to take off.
Yeah, it's one of those hard things where there's just no give. All the information has been said, so you just kind of have to go, all right, I guess it's your decision. You can get off the plane or sit here.
Right.
There's no in between.
What do you call that? Not compatibility when you're reliable. No.
You're responsible.
I think it's a C, like a C word where they go, I don't have
compatible.
No, capability. Shit.
No culpability.
I don't know what culp is.
Culpable.
That's a fish. Culpable. Guppy.
I think that's something culpable.
What is culpable? I don't know culpable.
That's something CULP.
I believe you. I think it's
able to be culp. I think culprit.
Yes. Oh, I like no culp in my OJ. I don't know. Huh. What is that I'm looking for?
Culpable means deserving blame.
That's not bad. Not the one I was. The one I'm thinking is you don't take responsibility for your friend's flaws. No.
That's culpable. I think
culpable
is right.
Okay.
Yeah, deserving blame. I think.
It's not hitting my G spot. I don't know what it is, but that could be it.
Cultivate.
Cult of personality.
How many syllables are you thinking?
It's one of those. It's an ubble. It's a cultable, compatible, comprehensible.
There's no. Use it in a sentence. So give me like the blank. Say this blah 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 boo blank. I might be able to shove it up your ass.
You gotta have some blank to get the credit. Shit. I can't even use it in a sentence. I'll call you later.
I think culpability. You need some culpability.
Maybe that's it. I just heard somebody saying it was like a racial thing, and somebody's like, well, you guys aren't.
Taking coercion.
That could be something. Taking might be the beginning.
Taking things you didn't pay for.
Taking back the night.
taking care of business.
Taking your virginity? Well, we'll talk about it later. But either way, I had a show last night. My brother showed up, and I bombed at the end, and it really killed me.
By the way, I had one of these where I couldn't think of the word for like days the other day, and I had to text. It was with Ronan. But quick thing, by the way. I talked about
Please.
Ronan Hershad. Ronan Comedy at RAANAN Comedy. People keep asking me about him.
Yeah,
but
another
he
killer.
did. How about this? We're Seinfeld fans, obviously. He did a leave behind in Louis' car.
Oh, on purpose?
Not on purpose, he claims, but I get a call from Louis going, hey, the chubby Jew kid that I hated, he left his hat in the car. And I go, I call Ron, I go, you did a leave behind in Louis' vehicle?
First of all, they're called yarmulkes, I believe. But what did he have? Like a hat with a propeller on it? What's he doing with a hat on?
It was like a New York Comedy Club hat. I don't know if he's trying to get Louis passed or what, but he left the hat. And then, Louis like, yeah, if you bump into him, and Ronan's like, well, maybe if we see him again, I can get it back. And I'm like, this isn't going to fly there, pal.
Yeah, nice try, Dickless.
But anyways, I was hanging out with him, and I couldn't think of the word. Maybe I'll give it to you and see if you can think of it.
Put it in my ass. I'll see if I diarrhea.
So the subject, it was some other guy I don't know either that looks like Ronan. It was the three of us talking.
A rabbi.
And I go, I went to the Viking Museum in Norway, and I was like, it's so mind-blowing to see these old Viking ships that are 10,000 years old or 50,000 or 300. I don't know how old they are. But I was like, they're all still together, complete there.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Wait a minute. Not refurbished. Not fermented.
It took me days.
Fermented? Did you get it?
Eventually, I got it, and I even said this to them. I was like, in something.
Preserved.
They're all in blank.
Tacked.
Yeah, that was it. I couldn't think of it, and they couldn't think of it. It was torture.
Well, tact is a whole other word in itself. That guy's got tact, or you have no tact. People tell me that a lot.
And then tact is something you do when you're sailing, too. You tact a thing, and tactics, and...
Yep, tacky.
Tic-tac-toe, you froze. I don't know what you said there, but I'm sure it was good.
Tacky, and then there's thumbtack.
Oh, yeah.
Aha. Intact.
But anyways, I had to text him like 4 days later, and he was like, what? And I was like, intact, remember? And I was like, text that other kid. And he's like, all right, I don't know what you're talking about. He was too busy, leaving behind clothes at Seinfeld's apartment.
Oh, complacent. No, that's not it. Ah, damn it. I'm going to think of it later
Culpable.
and text you. Some Tuesday right now is in Omaha going, I got it. But if you call in, if you know it. By the way, you know what's weird about the Vikings? Their whole thing is the horns on the helmet. They're blonde. They got mustaches and a big boat with a lady on the front with tits. And all they're known for is raping. That's the whole thing with Vikings. They went here, they raped everybody. That's why these people are still 6'8" in Scandinavia. And isn't it weird that there's the Minnesota Vikings? Like their whole thing is raping and pillaging, is it not?
This was exactly the conversation we had. This is why we're kindred spirits, or gay lovers, or
Our
parents
periods
of.
are synced up.
This is exactly the conversation. I said, how long before these people come after the Vikings as a team? Because the Redskins are done, and the Braves, and the Seminoles, and all this shit. And it's just a matter of time before they say, hey, what is this? We got a team named after the Vikings, and the Vikings raped. So,
Yep.
But his thing, Ronan's point, I think his point was, the Native Americans are still around, I think. And then the emblems or the logos are like, or whatever.
Right.
But no one's claiming to be a Viking, maybe, or something. I forget. He had a good point, but I do think eventually they're going to say, hey, get rid of the Vikings. Vikings did bad things.
I think you got something there, and that's true. And the Vikings were a couple of honky cracker white devils, so I think that makes it fine. Like no one's sticking up for them.
Right, but
they're villains.
They're villains, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like eventually things will get to that place, but maybe things will ease up and get a little better, and no one will care about this shit anymore at some point.
Hopefully, you hope. But here's one that I guarantee you will go the way of the dodo. I'm saying in the next decade, within 2020 to 2029, this will go away. The golf tournament Masters. That's going. Call it right now.
Oh, that's possible. I mean, it is Georgia. I know Master Bedroom is gone, but I think Masters is in reference to a master at this sport. Because Master Bedroom was directly in reference to, like, the guy that is the masturbator or whatever.
I see.
So that one, I'm like, I can see the case. I think it's goofballs. I mean, but it's also like, yeah, the big bedroom then. I mean, it's easy enough to change.
True.
But you could be right. I mean, it never ceases to surprise me what is offensive.
Well, it's almost like a choo-choo, like a PC choo-choo. You got to keep putting the wood in the fire, and I feel like, after, even if everything's perfect, because we talk about how we have to live in this utopia, and this is offensive to this person, but after everything's perfect, they find something. Hey, this cartoon with the kid getting thrown blueberries at him is offensive to people with dietary restrictions, and you go, okay, so now you're just trying to throw more train tracks down.
Yeah, those people. I hope they die because I don't want to go off on a whole thing, but you'd hope that side would fucking ease off of this completely innocuous horseshit.
Yeah. How about this one? This one's going away. Maybe you got a point with the Masters. This one's going away. First class. It's elitist. It's a class system in and of itself.
Well, I'll tell you that one you're on because you're onto something because it's already Delta One.
Oh,
they already say, JetBlue. What's it called?
Mint.
JetBlue Plus. Mint. Yes,
Mint.
exactly. It's Mint. It's number one. It's whatever. First class is already getting out.
You're right.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, geez, we got to wrap.
Someone come in. I see some squirrely eyes there. Something happened. Someone's over there.
My dad's picking me up to go to high school, and the clock's ticking. I got to have dinner with my parents and kill them.
Oh, yuck. That sounds horrible. I saw a little eye twitch. I could tell something's up. Let's wrap her up. Hit up the store, the new store. What's the link? The website. It's in the bio of the episode. It's in the bio of the episode. There you go. So go check that out.
Shelby said it's a public T. Link is in the description. Okay. T Public. T-E-E Public.
Yeah. T Public. T Publicans. Go
Tea Party.
Go check that. Go check that out and get on the Patreon. Now we're looking to get 4,000. We'll do the live one soon, probably after Thanksgiving break, I assume. And have a safe Thanksgiving. Check out, I got the new web series going, Connor's Ultimate Movies. It's a lot of fun. It's real silly. Appreciate all the kind words. Subscribe to my YouTube for the love of fuck, because the industry is going to hate us after this episode.
Oh, you got that right.
And I'm in Foxborough this Saturday. I thought it was Friday. I've been plugging Friday for like 6 months. This Saturday, I'm at the comedy thing, Gillette Stadium. Oh, I got to wrap up. Your dad's taking his belt off. It's not in the stadium. It's called Comedy Farts. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Google Foxborough, Mass. Joe List. I'll put the link in my Instagram. 2 shows. We're probably all going to die. But come to the show. Erica Rhodes is in town. She's doing guest spots. Sarah will be there. So it's going to be a hell of a show. I'm done. Don't get hit by your dad.
All right. Yeah. He's taking off the belt. He's wearing a robe. It's weird. I'm all over the place. Who knows? I think I'm going to be out in Spokane. If you live out there, not the club. Bridgeport, Stress Factory, Bridgeport, Connecticut. And maybe Tipitina's in New Orleans. So, yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. Come on out, say hello, get some merch, get on the Patreon. We'll do a live stream soon. Praise Allah, kill yourself, hug your mom, and blow your brother. We'll see you next week.